We have about 60 days or so left in 2024. And as we approach 2025, a storm is brewing within the economy that could change everything. See a crisis that may have taken root in the cracks emerging across financial indicators. This looming threat, which spans the decline in personal savings, close to $36 trillion in U.S. national debt, and fraudulent unemployment numbers that keep getting revised downward. And all that paints a very grim picture of what could unfold if not addressed properly. So let's talk about this. Okay, so wanted to take a quick minute, share some thoughts in reference to just some things that I think is worth highlighting heading into a new year. Just because as of right now, all the media is focused on telling the people what they want to hear and not what actually is taking place within the mainstream economy. And so between diminishing savings, more debt, and the deteriorating conditions of the consumer, things aren't shaping up well for 2025. And so in this video here, I want to share my 2 cents on a couple of things, just highlight a couple areas that's worth paying attention to, and hopefully encourage some of you, if you haven't already, to be proactive in your approach on how you address your own personal debt consumption. But as always, if you guys enjoyed these short takes, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I put these videos out. And as always, if you find value, share this so more people can find out an alternative narrative outside of what they may not hear from the mainstream media. So one of the main issues worth touching on is the declining savings, because that's revealing the cracks in the foundation of people's personal finance. You see, the U.S. economy's net savings as a percent of gross national income has now been below zero for about 2 years now. And clearly, this is an unsustainable trajectory. Imagine your personal finances. If you consistently spend more than you earn, relying on dwindling savings, eventually you're going to run out of funds. And so the same principle applies in the economy. Once savings are exhausted, the only options left are to reduce consumption or go further into debt. And clearly, this imbalance of spending without production can lead to a crash. Much like a structurally compromised dam that can't hold back the pressure of rising water. Even personal saving rates are hovering below the 5% levels that hasn't been seen since the great financial crisis, close to about 15 years ago. So basically, people are stretched thin, with rising living costs outpacing wage growth. So imagine running a marathon only for each mile to be unexpectedly uphill. Despite an increased effort, progress seems slow, and exhaustion can begin to take over very fast. Even households increasingly strained, with little room left for unexpected financial burden. And then we got consumer debt, which is a ticking time bomb. And as of right now, household debt rose by $108 billion earlier this year, which equates to a little less than $18 trillion in total. And then you factor in credit card debt, which has exceeded $1 trillion, with interest rates averaging over 21%. So visualize this. If you were able to make a consistent 21% return on an investment, would it seem almost too good to be true? However, for American households, this high rate is a constant drain on resources, not a benefit. Banks reap the rewards of these high interest debts, turning this individual debt into a lucrative investment. Yet debt just isn't limited to credit cards. You got auto loans, student loans, and other types of debt have been compounding exponentially. A substantial portion of car trade-ins have negative equity, meaning people owe more on their cars than they're actually worth. So imagine trying to sell a car worth $10,000 only to find out you owe $15,000 on it. And that's what 1 out of 4 people trading in vehicles experience. This negative equity represents a burden that can pull them further underwater financially. And then we talk about employment strain. Part-time jobs and jobless claims are both on the rise. And since the job market is often considered as a core economic indicator, it's showing concerning signs at this current moment. We have part-time job numbers, which are at near record highs, while full-time positions remain stagnant, leaving many Americans piecing together part-time work just to make ends meet. So think of it as trying to build a house with bricks from various sources. And you have small jobs without benefits, make up income, but lack stability. Each piece may temporarily support the structure, but without a solid foundation, the entire house is vulnerable. And at the same time, jobless claims continue to rise, signaling more people are struggling to find stable employment. So the lack of growth in full-time positions amplifies financial insecurity as people take on multiple jobs just to cover basic expenses, sacrificing security and benefits. So imagine being on a treadmill set slightly faster than your walking speed. No matter how much you exert, you can never quite get ahead. And all the things I just mentioned so far is built upon the fact of an illusion of market stability. So despite the troubling indicators, stock markets remain at or near all-time highs, driven by optimism and speculation. But there's a saying in finance that markets climb the wall of worry. So in times of economic imbalance, optimism can buoy markets for a time, creating a false sense of stability. Yet it's akin to inflating a balloon with more and more air, knowing it's thin in places. So the more pressure applied, the more likely it is to pop. When markets do finally correct, the effect can be sudden and severe. And so after this presidential election, whoever wins, they're going to have to address these pending economic threats in 2025. And so the ultimate way to address these brewing crises, whether it be governments or households alike, the ultimate need will be to reduce their reliance on debt. So imagine a vast ship carrying too much cargo The more weight that's added, the lower it sits in the water, increasingly vulnerable to rough seas. And it's only by offloading this debt, or the weight of the cargo, can the ship stabilize and navigate through troubled waters. So preparing for economic headwinds, the signs are clear. Declining savings, rising debt, and unsustainable job market present real threats to Main Street. And so this crisis may unfold slowly, or it may erupt suddenly. But either way, preparation and informed financial decision-making will be essential for individuals and policymakers alike. And if there's any doubt that what I just said, you can go do the research and find the exact same headlines that I found to put this together. No matter who's in office, trouble's coming. Hopefully, you're being proactive with the remaining days of this year so that the start of the next year can be better for you and your household. And so 3 simple things that I want to leave you guys with, which I believe can put you in a better position for uncertain natural times, is what I call the 3 Ps. Pray, plan, and practice. The first one, pray. You're not going to make it without God's help. You need divine intervention in these types of events that's unfolding right now. 2, plan. Every year of life, you need to have a plan. Financially, spiritually, socially, and practically. Every area should have a breakdown of things you want to accomplish today and for the future. And then 3, practice. Educate yourself, learn new skill sets, and put it to work for you so that you can practice becoming a better version of yourself, because your household will need it, as well as those you serve outside your household, which allows you to bring in income your way. So once again, just taking a minute, sharing some thoughts, curious to hear what you guys think. If you found value, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe. Click the bell notification so you're notified. And if you found anything of value here, take this and share it so more people can find out what's going on. And as always, if you need practical resources and strategies, click the link in the description for the financial side of things, where I have the silver team available for those who want to get involved directly in the silver business, and then also have the gold notes for those who want to create their own gold standard. Anyway, just sharing my 2 cents. Catch you guys later.